Welcome to episode 3 of Wheel Time. I'm J-Mac. This is J-Mac Media HQ. Basically, it's a fancy way of saying that I have dressed up the home office just to be able to do this kind of stuff. So hopefully you enjoy the stuff that comes out of here. Today's vlog, all about Driftwest Battlefest. We've managed to get our hands on some footage from the top 16, the WA Performance top 16. So we've got a bit of a commentary of that. We also have some driver interviews that went down during one of the lunch breaks on the days. Very cool stuff. Had a chat to some of the drivers there, and it's just a all-round good time. So kick back, relax, enjoy the show. Battlefest was an incredible event with almost 50 drivers all taking part in 2 days of drifting action held across 2 layouts at Barbagallo Raceway. The weather was absolutely perfect. Local homegrown drift hero Mitch Lana in the WA Performance Corolla had a fantastic weekend. He didn't all go his way though. A young man from the Northern Territory, Patrick Barley, definitely proved to be a force to be reckoned with when it came to battles. The mood was electric. Drivers hadn't really had a competition in recent history at Barbagallo Raceway on the main circuit that really gave them this much track time and this much variety. A mirror image of the Turn 7 layout used in the Drift Outlaws series, coupled with the ADGP layout over in the back section of the track, meant that drivers were turning tyres in randomly generated battles for the entire 2 days, right up until the WA Performance Top 16. The quality of car was exceptional here at the event. The quality of driving, well, that varied, with driver error and mechanical failure putting more than just a few drivers out of contention. So setting the scene now, day 2 of Battlefest. It is the lunch break and all the cars have been brought down onto our Turn 7 layout and arranged so that spectators can get a chance to come on down, get up close and personal with the cars, meet the drivers, get a photo, all that kind of really cool stuff. It was great to see everyone taking part in that. Now we had a chance to go and have a chat to some of our drivers and in fact a couple of our WA Performance top 16 placeholders. Aiden Zakowski came in top of the charts in that mad little 4AGE Toyota Corolla. This is what he had to say, considering he didn't exactly have the best luck leading up to Battlefest. Aiden Zakowski, you've topped out the WA Performance Top 16 here on day 2 at Driftwest Battlefest. What's going through your head? Because it's been a big ride to get here.
Not a whole lot, really. I mean, I'm amazed that I've made it here. The last few events we've had on this layout, I haven't really been able to string a good lap together. To make it to the #1 spot and have such a consistent run, I'm pretty happy.
The judges have been marvelling at just how smooth you've been able to make your lead runs look here. Nothing in front of you, no distractions. You've been putting down some incredible lines. If there was one area here on this Turn 7 layout, where would you say is your downfall?
It'll be this section between the donut and the last hairpin where I don't really have the speed. I can't change from 2nd to 3rd gear because I'll just break something. So I don't have the speed to keep up with everyone in the LS 3rd and 4th gear. So I usually have to make a last minute dive in, but that's the only real weak point. I think everything else is looking pretty good.
It's a star-studded cast joining you in the WA Performance Top 16. Who do you think is the biggest competition? Who do you really need to worry about?
It'd have to be Alex Zafino, and I think Chris Day is, 2nd place. He's obviously putting in some good runs, so, hard to see through his smoke as well. Should be good.
We also had a chance to chat to Adam Wilkes in that absolutely crazy twin-turbo S15. A very, very cool car, but unfortunately not having the best of luck. Issues with understeer and problems with getting the car to rotate on command meant that Adam went largely unnoticed when it came to picking that top 16. It's like pulling teeth. Adam Wilkes, get over here. Get over here. Come on, in nice and close, man. Hey. Yeah, okay, camera's over there. Look at that. The twin turbo LS, how has the motor been this weekend?
This one's been okay. Not so well on the other two, but this one's good. It feels good. Car's good. It's me that's kind of stuffing it up, but no, it feels good.
We're seeing a whole heap of understeer from this thing. Is it setup or is it how you're transitioning into drifts?
It's me mostly, but I put some semis on it, and once I put the semis on it, felt so much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, mainly me. Less track time. I need to put so much more track time involved. So.
Based out at Kalgoorlie, you run your own business, Wilkes Engineering. What opportunities do you get for seat time out there?
Zero. No, Battlefest has been awesome. So much seat time. So much. You get in your car, you do your thing, get out, and then you're pretty much back in it again. So it's really good. Yeah.
Well, good stuff, man. Fingers crossed we see an improvement because, let's face it, you need it.
Oh, yeah. I suck. Big time.
And to back it all up, we spoke to Andrew Cahill, Nick Owens, and Braden Hooker from the 6056 Customs guys. Braden Hooker, he definitely had a little bit of a brain, well, not a brain fart, but he had some problems wrapping his head around how to approach the big entry comp on the evening of night one. Nick Owens took that bright pink entry into the WA Performance Top 16, a great result for him. I think even he was a little bit surprised. Cahill on Hooker. All right, here on the water barrier in the... Stop that. In the pit walk with the 6056 guys. Are you guys still actually all part of the same crew?
Nah, fuck it.
Okay, yeah. Cahill, Owen, and Hooker, so we're getting close. Cahill, man, how are you finding things this weekend with Battlefest?
Battlefest is the event's really good. Everything's running quite nicely. I just am not on par.
Down here in Turn 7, we've got this layout that we've sort of run something very similar in the past. What would you say is your major downfall in this area?
That wall.
You've already come to contact with that wall once, haven't you?
I have hit the wall.
What was the damage?
Just caved the rear end in, but nothing the sledge you can't fix.
You're getting a reputation as someone who can sort of put together and take apart and refurbish and repair cars. Is that something that you've picked up on your own, or have you got qualifications? What's the story?
Nah, I just get other people to do it for me and take the credit. Not really. Just my old man helped heaps with it. He's taught me heaps of stuff there, and just a few of the boys are pretty talented with a few things and some panel work and whatnot, and just picked up a few things. Seen him do it once, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
Watched a couple of YouTube videos and thought I can nail this.
Actual.
Let's move along. Here we go. Nick Owens, Wilco's nicknamed your boat, your car, the Cray boat. How's that motor? Is everything okay? And why has it got such a unique exhaust note?
The car was built very cheaply, and it was very rushed.
Nothing wrong with that.
It was very rushed together. Probably just needs a new exhaust pipe. The motor's healthy, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, just needs a new exhaust system. Hopefully do that over Christmas.
Awesome stuff, man. And to the man who kind of misunderstood what the whole WA Performance Big Entry comp was all about, it's the big entry into Cat Corner, not the sandpit at Cat Corner, because you went in not once but twice, man. You almost rolled the damn thing the second time, or the first time.
Yeah, I know. Fourth gear.
Fourth gear. I think I asked you what your plan of attack was, and you said, I'm just going to leave my brain on the start line and just send it.
Yeah.
How's the car going throughout the rest of competition here on day 2?
It's not too bad. Steering's a problem, but we'll fix it.
You're going to fix it. Well, you got a great group of mates around you. The 6056 boys having a great time here. Friends might be a bit of a loose term. Well, with the pit walk done and dusted, now is the time where we actually get to watch some drifting. I know you guys have been watching for the last 5 minutes or so going, this is supposed to be all about a drift event. Where is the drifting? Rest assured, I got you sorted. The WA Performance Top 16 was a hotly contested part of 2 massive days of competition. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to compress 2 whole days down into a short, digestible segment, but I have been able to get a hold of the footage, and it's all thanks to Front Row Screens. So a big thank you to the guys and girls that really made this possible. Front Row Screens actually live streamed the entire 2 days of competition, and it was great to see such a great effort being put behind WA drifting.
He certainly has. J-Mac, and a nice big entry for him. Coming a bit early off that touch and go. Zakowski right there with him though. Nick Owen looked like he was going to slightly over-rotate, but gets a wheel up on that ripple strip, and that's what the judges asked to see. Zakowski diving in, probably a little bit too shallow, but Nick Owen throws it way too wide and gets 2 tyres off on the final turn.
Ooh.
Mistake there from Owen, and that's going to cost him dearly.
The man next to him that'll lead him out in this WA Performance Top 16 battle is your man with suspension, wheels and tyres all down the side of that 180, Ben Lugg. Let's see how they front up into turn 1. The emulation there from Patrick Barley was on point. Lugg takes a wide line but gets right out to that touch and go. Barley gave him just enough room, but Lugg has overshot on the precise suspension and automotive roundabout. Cog fog engaged, and the gap opens up from the SWAT car as Barley tries to sacrifice a bit of line to get some length.
The Dimmet Tools entry of Patrick Barley enters into that precise suspension automotive roundabout as we cut to the cam there. What a great shot. And listen to that noise of that sprint car powered machine. Ben Lugg probably not having the proximity the judges want to see in that SWAT machine.
Well, one of our drivers wearing WA Performance all down the side of this KE70 Corolla is Mitch Lana, fresh out of the Irish Drifting Championship where he came runner-up. He's now a Formula D license holder, and he has proven that he has what it takes to fight at the top. Matt Walling has been well and truly gapped on the way into turn 1, and Mitch Lana is putting on a clinic. Throws Franco version 2 around the precise suspension and automotive roundabout. Great shots there on the cam. Into the final clipping point, and Matt Walling just never showed up to the party, Wilco.
Look at the wheel speed of Lana, pulls up on Walling. Walling's in that destroy tyres machine, is definitely trying to destroy tyres, but Lana's trying to destroy him as we come through the final turn. That little Corolla right on the door. Alex Zaffino, and he is going up against Haggerty in that LS-powered R32.
Zaffino had an aggressive entry across the front of Haggerty. We know Adam Monk can put the power down to the ground. One of the most raucous entries here this weekend.
Listen to the roar of that twin-turbo LS. And while Daniel Seps tries to keep up with the physical wheel speed of that Newlon S14, he throws a little too wide, drops one wheel off in the dirt, but he's trying to rein in Adam Monk, who is just laying down the smoke off the back of that Team Tyre Barbecue S14.
Adam Monk takes that Newlon S14 back to the start line. He has had his fair share of troubles. Issues with fueling, issues with the starter motor, issues with a power steering pump component that copped a beating in a battle up against Lapworth. Now, Jamie Worrell did a brilliant job to find himself in the WA Performance Top 16, right up the tippy top.
We've got that Smart Homes S15 of Worrell now, with Versma doing a fantastic job trying to tuck right up in his door. The young gun, 16-year-old, doing an awesome job through here, chasing down that Smart Homes machine of Jamie Worrell, and Worrell putting his hand out the window to show appreciation of what an awesome chase run he just had.
Performance Towing, great supporters of Driftwest's Battlefest, as Luke Viersma takes his spot on the start line. Jamie Worrell is guaranteed to stick himself like a barnacle to the rear quarter of this S13. It's 13 versus 15. Sylvia on Sylvia crime about to go down. Viersma leaves a nice open line for Worrell to get right up close. Good transition there as they come in towards the PSA roundabout. Worrell jockeying for proximity as they make their way in towards the final clipping point. And I have to say, a problem for Worrell, but the proximity for Worrell on Viersma just wasn't like what we saw.
Brenton Lapworthy only just come to terms with that car. He's only done a couple of practice days, but that Sora is pretty awesome. Look at the Cook coming off the back of that Sora. Didn't quite get out to the touch and go. Way too much angle there for Lapworth, but look at those. Wisefab doing its job. Gets on the loud pedal. Jamison now, nice big entry. Lapworth up on the ripple strip. Doesn't affect him. Starting to put the Cook on now. Jamison runs a little bit too wide. Gives the door open to Lapworth, and Lapworth's right there. Listen to that LS power love from both two cars coming through the finish line. Team Rush machine and the Sora. Chris Day in that big all-day Constructions Commodore is going up against Flipper. Bradley McIntyre. Chris Day running that way too wide, but he's got the bake on the back. Those Westlakes on that thing. And whoa, we've had a spin. We've had a spin.
And Zakowski about to give meaning to the term 420 Blaze It. Here we go. The KE Corolla leads out the big wing equipped S1315 hybrid. Zakowski, good angle, good smoke, coming in through the touch and go into the PSA roundabout. And smooth, but he gives Barley the opportunity to get so close, and Barley takes full advantage, Wilco.
He did, but still a good line nonetheless for Zakowski. Zakowski not scared. Quick, snappy transition there from Barley, and even a snappier one from the little Corolla. Just gave him enough room in that Dimitul's entry to switch back as they come through the final turn now. Zakowski not giving an inch.
Was talking to Zafino earlier in the top 16 drivers briefing. He said that his battle with Worrell was great, letting it all hang out. It was a great opportunity to really stretch the legs on this car and see what it was capable of.
Definitely that battle with Jamie was amazing. So I know he can put down a perfect lap, and just to be able to go full on out with him is the best feeling for sure. When you're chasing the slower car, you're just waiting, hesitating a bit, trying to make your little moves here and there. But going all out is definitely where it's at.
And that Corolla of Mitch Lana, WA Performance Mean, shoots out of the starting gate loud and fast. Look at the gap he's pulling on Zafino. Zafino doing everything he can to try and wind up that gap and get closer to that WA Performance little Corolla. But the Corolla might be little and nimble, but it's definitely got plenty of go under the hood.
And Mitch Lana has glued himself to the rear quarter of Alex Zafino. So we go to the Auto 1 Midland drone cam as they come across the finish line. What a battle. A great chase run there from Mitch Lana on Alex Zafino.
The young gun is going up against one serious competitor, Adam Monk. Locks it in, stamps on the loud pedal, and goes nice and hard. Coming into the Precise Suspension Automotive roundabout right now, Versma. Oh, unfortunately, Versma turns it around, but Adam Monk, he's just going to engage another cog and come over the finish line cooking tyres. Adam Monk, he's going to torment the young gun. He is right there, initiates with him.
Wow.
Right on the door. And Adam Monk, big understeer. Big understeer. That's a mistake from Monk.
He tried to recover. He tried to make the lunge. Wiersma went wide on the PSA roundabout, went long, but he manages to gather it all up. They make their way towards the final clip. Monk pressuring Wiersma, trying to get himself where he needs to be.
Yeah, I'd hate to be the judges there because obviously Wiersma spun on his run and then Adam Monk made a bit of a meal of it on his chase run. And Adam Monk unsure of why that's happened.
Wow, bit of an aggressive way to leave the track. Great proximity through turn one for Zakowski. He is right there every step of the way. Looked like he was trying to make a dive, but didn't really close up too much distance as Patrick Barley is smoking the rears.
And Zakowski doing everything he can, trying to dive up on that car. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Chris Day.
He certainly did, and Chris Day there in the All Day Constructions. VX Commodore is just gapping Rory Jamieson in that team rush proceeding. You can see Jamieson trying to break up that proximity by driving a little bit too straight. And he does it again as he comes out of that Precise Suspension Automotive roundabout now. But Day, perfect line, gets on the loud pedal and comes through the finish line. Wow, Chris Day. All right, here we go now. Jamieson leads out Day, trying to stick with him as best he can. The bonnet flapping up slightly, giving us a wave on the front of that Team Rush machine. But Day right there with him. The proximity is much better from Day than it was from Jamieson. Here we go. Day right on the door. Transition from Jamieson, and Day's right there across the finish line. That Team Rush machine. Day gives him maybe a little kiss there as we come over the finish line. Chris Day, he's fist pumping out the window. He knows he did a good job, and he knows that he may have got the win. All right, Adam Monk, we just got word through having a little bit of trouble with the car. It wouldn't start properly, so he just had to roll start it there on the start line. That's why we've seen him go forward slightly and then back up. But here we go.
Adam Monk leads us out, and it's up to Wiersma to get right onto the back of that S14. He is right there, over-rotates a little bit, loses some proximity as he loses drive. Monk is fogging the arena. Hands all over that wheel, mate, as he comes through PSA roundabout, and Wiersma drops back.
Wiersma just a bit of a straight line as he tried to keep that proximity up in both the entry to that Precise Suspension Automotive roundabout and the exit.
Here we go through turn one. Wiersma really loading in the angle to try and save himself here and pulling back, just losing ground and losing out on proximity points that could potentially have been his in this rerun from their top 8 battle. Good Lord, can you imagine the stress? Wiersma throws a hand out the window. The youngster's getting impatient. As we give them the go-ahead, Wiersma launches out of the blocks. Adam Monk is right there with him. The youngster, 16 years old, initiates into turn one.
Adam Monk right there with him as they enter into turn one. Look at the close proximity. Oh, he has a straight line again because Wiersma was right there trying to transition. Monk nearly doing the overtake as we come back to the switchback. A little bit messy from both drivers here as we come into the final turn. Monk tormenting the door of Wiersma. Oh.
Tormenting the door, tormenting the eardrums of everybody watching. Barley got that S13-15 hybrid off to a great start. He is right there. When you almost can't see the chase car behind the lead car through turn one, you know they're close. The gap pulls and tightens up as they come into PSA Ski Boats roundabout, and Mitch Lana just walking away in the Corolla. What a lap. Barley sacrifices line and has an incident on the final clip point.
Stopped dead in the middle of that final turn as we cut to a replay now. Look how close that Dimmitt Tools entry is to Lana. But then watch as we come through this turn, he starts to drive away because that little Corolla squats and gets the hell out of there.
Unreal how much mechanical grip they've been able to dial into this short wheelbase car. I'd keep saying it. Mitch Lana is right there with him every step of the way, not giving him an inch as they come into turn one.
That's right, the Tundra from Down Under's right there with him, and he's going to stick it to his door. Obviously, oh, look at that transition from both parties. Lana right there on the door. He's nearly giving that rear quarter panel a touch. Barley, bit of an awkward transition there. And he's, big mistake there from Barley. And Mitch Lana tried to follow him in, which is what he's meant to do.
Look at the body language from the youngster in the Dimmitt Tools entry, and the judges are very quick to make their call. Wilco, it goes to Lana.
It does, and justified. And look at Mitch Lana, the proper competitor that he is, getting out and just letting the young gun know, you did a good job, mate. But this weekend is going to be mine. Lana's going to push all the way to the end, and I don't doubt we'll see him in the final. Here we go, running down to the first turn now. Chris Day, nice entry. Adam Monk, shallow, but he's right there with him. Bit of a curb hop. Gets out nice and wide. Listen to that.
Whoa.
Popping and banging come from that new line machine. But Chris Day just doing a fantastic job in that lead position as we come through to the final turn now.
It just sounds amazing, and it all falls apart for the S14. The all-day construction Commodore cruises through the final clipping point as Adam Monk pinched a front on the way in, had to wash off a heap of speed as Day came across in front of him, Wilco. Adam Monk fires out of the blocks. Chris Day keeping pace with him as Monk is blazing the bags into turn one.
He certainly was, J-Mac. Chris Day pops it up on that ripple strip. He's right where he needs to be. Little bit less proximity. Monk winds on the angle, but Chris Day, as Monk goes wide, dives in on that precise suspension automotive roundabout now. Look at the cook coming off the back of both these cars, but Day right there with him. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Adam Monk and Chris Day.
And we go to shots in Adam Monk's pits of the Newlon S14. Monk is in the car. Big wave to the camera. Wow, look at how cheery he is.
He's having a great old time here this weekend. I chatted to him earlier, and he's just pumped to get to drive the barbecue for 2 days straight.
Yeah. Driftwest Battlefest has all come down to this, and Wilco developments while we were away.
That's right. The reason why we're waiting for Adam Monk is we thought he was just tiring up, but he called a 5-minute rule because that twin turbo LS was just getting way too hot and he needed to cool down before he threw out against that Dimmitt Tools entry. Both of them right up on that ripple strip. Barley's right there with him. Look how close he is, but Barley a little bit too straight. Adam Monk winds on the lock. Look at him working hard behind the wheel, that Newlon thing. And Barley, he's just gone, wow, I can't keep up with this. Try to go shallow. Monk has stopped it. Monk has stopped it early.
As Barley just gets into it. He's having a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the youngster from the Northern Territory in the Dimmitt Tools entry. Patrick Barley hucks it in around the PSA roundabout
engages cog fog and is just belting up on this sprint car motor equipped S1513 hybrid. Split screen shots of Adam Monk, and you can see they're struggling to get the temperature of that thing down. Wilco, you had a quick chat to our judges. Do you have any idea what is going on and what moved Adam Monk to leave the track like that?
Adam Monk's just unfortunately having some gremlins with that car. Potentially still temperature issues, just not able to get the car cool enough. That's why he called the 5-minute rule before when he was asked to push out for the 3 versus 4 battle that we just seen half of. And unfortunately, that means that he didn't have the opportunity to call another 5-minute rule. And Patrick Barley will be awarded that 3rd place. Chris Day to lead out. He was the higher place getter in those random generated ballots. Here we go. Lana not going to give an inch to Chris Day in that all-day constructions. Commodore Chris Day, look at the cook coming off the back of that. Here Commodore now, but Lana dive bombs in through the precise suspension automotive roundabout. Lana right there. Chris Day gets on the loud pedal, engages the fog cog, and comes through the final turn. What a job from Chris Day, and what a job from Mitch Lana. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we came to see. LS with a big turbocharger under the hood of that Commodore. Let's go, here we are. Oh, Chris Day makes contact. Chris Day makes contact. Lana. He's beached it. Mistake there from Day. Big mistake there from Day. He's dived into Lana, made contact, pushed Lana off the track. Just that little bit too much. Let's cut to a front row screens replay. Look, Day, a little bit too far up.
Give it up for Mitch
into the
Lana.
small little Corolla and just put Mitch Lana way offline. And as you see in that slow motion, look at the sand going through that Commodore. Wow.
But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Driftwest Battlefest champion, Mitch Lana!
So that wraps us up. Driftwest Battlefest 2018 done and dusted. That was the WA Performance Top 16, shrunk down ever so slightly. There was definitely some drama and some controversy. 2 massive reruns in there, most notably the rerun between Wiersma and Adam Monk. Definitely some tough calls for the judges, but all in all, I think a brilliant event. There was a lot to take away from that, and I do believe that the committee for Driftwest are going to put in some changes and maybe look at doing things slightly differently for, I believe it's another November event for Battlefest 2019. Hopefully you liked what you saw here from JMac Media HQ. This has been the 3rd episode of Wheel Time. If you liked what you saw, let me know. If there's something that you think needs to be changed for next time, or you've got some advice, or maybe you just want to rag on it, shoot me a message. I'm very interested to know what you guys think. In the meantime, I'll catch you next time.